I even told my mother, I'm going to make it here. I'm going to go to Big Brother. The first email I got says, I'm going to go to Big Brother. I don't know if I'm going to win. Hopefully that I'll win the money. Yeah. But even if I don't win, I know that I'm going to be bigger than the winner. I told her even before it happened. The only thing is that like right now Big Brother just is over and we are individuals. So like focus on his brand and I focus on mine. And then maybe like later on we can make it public again. But for now it's like it has to be private. To build mine and he builds his. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey family, it's me Lungelo KM. Of course you're here for a new episode. But before we start with today's episode, I know you know who's here, and you're excited. So I won't take too much of your time. Rather, please don't forget to subscribe. You know that when you subscribe, when you like the conversations, it helps grow what we do. It helps reach greater heights, grow the platform so that we have more growth conversations with people who matter to you, people whose stories are there to transform your life, even if it's just a little bit. But in everybody's story, there is a transformative element we try and get out of it. Ashley Ogle.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm amazing. I'm great.
Dirty Ace, from Dirty Ace to Grosvenor Girls. Are you one of those or are you a Mowat girl? Which one?
Actually, I didn't go to Dirty Ace, but I went to Grosvenor Girls.
Yes. See, I got it right. I knew it. No, who Ashley is? She's a Wentworth girl, but she's from the other side.
Yes, kind
What's your heart, Ash?
My heart.
Yeah. Like, how you doing? How you doing genuinely?
I think like I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm doing really good. I couldn't have been better or asked to be better.
Sure. Do you think it's because of everything that has happened, or you're just genuinely always a person who looks at things from a positive perspective?
I now am someone that looks at things from a positive perspective. I wasn't before. Like, I think it started before I went in the Big Brother house. I become really optimistic.
Yeah. That's interesting because they say before the greatest things happen in our lives, it feels like your life goes into a pit, like it's its darkest season. Would you say perhaps June last year, you were a completely different Ashley who had a bad perspective of life, a negative outlook of where she was, just wasn't okay about everything?
I would say like from now that you mentioned June last year, I'd say before I went in the Big Brother house, there was a lot of wrong things happening. My life wasn't great, but I always used the quote from Oprah Winfrey, like I always knew I was destined for great things. So even though bad things were happening to me, I knew that something good was coming. I just didn't know what it was. So I got content with myself and I pulled myself together and I was great even though bad things were happening to me.
Take me in. What bad things?
Just losing a lot of, I've never had a lot of people, but the few people that I did have, I lost them. Like just random outbursts and fights with people for like minor reasons, not big reasons. Jumping job to job because I wasn't happy with the ones that I was at. Also just fighting with God, but like I always fight with God.
That's so real, Ash. That's so real because I'm actually going through that right now about something that is happening in my life. I'm like, but God, why? Because sometimes it's like, God, we had this conversation about this. And why is it now turning out this way? Was the work a big part of that? It's like, what's going on with my job life? What's going on with my career?
Yes. Well, for me, I always fight with God because there's always this one part of the Bible that I read and I quote it all the time. It was like, he hung on to the coats of Joseph and Jacob until Jacob blessed him. Like, I'm going to hold on to God and I'm going to fight with God until he blesses me. I'm not going to let go of him. So I'm going to fight with him. I'm going to thank him. And even in my bad times, I want to thank him because I know that something great is coming out of that. So you have to fight with God.
What type of relationships did you lose?
Friendships. Well, the few friendships that I had. Family-ships, workmates, colleagueships. Yeah.
Would you say you lost those when you reflect now? Would you say you lost those because maybe Ashley is a difficult person to be around, or you genuinely stand your ground and people can't take that? Like, you protect yourself, you defend yourself.
I think I'm actually a really easy person.
Okay.
So like anything you tell me, I'll probably make it go to suit you and fit you best. So I'm not a difficult person. But it was like minor stuff that like other would happen to someone else and it'd be like, oh man, we can move past this. But for me, it was like, we couldn't move past it. So the only explanation I have for that was because God wanted me to go through that. Because literally minor stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Take me back to Ashley in grade 7. Who is she? What's her perspective of life? What is she thinking about high school? Does she feel like she's the girl who fits in at school, or does she feel like an outcast? Take me to that Ashley, the 13, 12-year-old Ashley.
I was actually a very weird child. Like, never spoke, very introverted. People would come and ask my parents, like, tell my teachers and stuff would come and tell my parents I needed counseling. Grade 7 was actually the year where I was first diagnosed with anxiety and depression.
Okay.
I didn't go to school for like 2 terms.
Sure.
Yeah,
That's
but
like 6 months.
6 months. When I did go back to school, I was isolated from everybody and I sat by myself and I done what, because I was claustrophobic when there would be children and people around me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not optimistic for high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was bad.
Do you think there is something that triggered that anxiety and depression? Because they always say there's some sort of source of maybe trauma or lack of attention from home, or the wrong attention from home. When you think back now as an adult, where do you think it came from?
So when I started grade R, actually, that's when my first teacher was like, she needs to come and interview my family at home because I don't speak to anyone. I don't touch anyone. I refuse to participate. She's never seen anything like it. And the funny thing is, at home, I had 2 parents that were married, 4 grandparents. Both of them were married. I was
fiction.
I'm the eldest child.
Sure.
My parents like spoiled me.
Mm-hmm.
I had everything, never ever short of anything. So where does it come from?
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So maybe I feel like sometimes a little part of that could be because I was so loved, because I was so attached to my mom. Because I won't even lie, like my mom, she really made an egg out of me. But also just believe, I'm so sorry for taking it back to God all the time. I feel like all of that was preparing me for the person that I am now and the person that I'm still going to be. Because like, I feel like this is just the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you think you can love a person too much? Because that's what you're trying to,
Yeah.
I think you're trying to explain, that sometimes when our parents love us and make us an egg, I was an egg too before my mother passed away. I get it, that sometimes you feel like, geez, I'm being smothered in love.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't even get a perspective of the difficulties other people are facing.
I don't believe it's too much love.
Yeah.
I believe that it's just sometimes you don't always have something bad happen to you because something bad is happening around you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that anxiety and depression just only comes to people who are going through tough times.
Okay.
I feel like sometimes it's just a challenge sent from God, or just a challenge that life is throwing at you to make you better. Unfortunately, mine lasted for many, many years.
Yeah.
But I'm here now, so it was worth it.
Did you struggle with the anxiety and depression throughout your schooling career till you got to matric?
From 5 years old, actually. That was the first psychologist that found out until I studied in varsity even. So it only actually stopped 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey family, quick one. As you know, our podcast is all about growth conversations. It's all about igniting your power. It's all about healing the inner parts of who we are that are difficult to deal with and difficult to manage. As we do that, we'd like your assistance in growing the platform by you subscribing, by you liking all our videos. It helps us to reach greater audiences and change more lives. Do continue enjoying the episode. Did you continue in high school feeling isolated and like having social anxiety and not wanting to associate with other girls? Because now you're in a girls' school at Grosvenor, and it's this posh place with nice girls. Well, is it still posh?
Yeah. Yes.
With these girls, it's a really good school, and they come from different cultural backgrounds. You know, Grosvenor has black kids, Indian kids, colored kids, white kids. So you're coming in this multi-dimensional society. Did you feel like it was amplifying the social anxiety, or you actually started finding yourself there?
So I actually started high school here, because I done grade 7 in Dimosi in the south of Johannesburg.
Okay.
And then I started high school in Difakkel. It was also in the south of Johannesburg. I couldn't do it, so my parents were like, just for me, they moved back to Durban.
Oh, wow.
Just for me.
The egg.
Yeah, just for me. They moved back to Durban, and Grosvenor was the place where I kind of sort of opened up a little bit,
Sure.
but still didn't go to school many times. But I'd say that's the place that pressured me into becoming who I am now. Yeah, I don't miss Grosvenor because I don't like school. I don't miss school, but I love what Grosvenor done for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that makes sense. It's a really good school. I went to George Campbell,
Oh.
so I was part of those people taking the bus from
Yeah.
Umlazi. We bump into each other at the
Yes,
terminals, at the
yes.
workshop. You know
Yes.
that life.
I know that life.
Taking the bus at Clearwood. There, that whole life.
Okay.
I'm truly.
So brother and sister. Okay.
I'm there. Matric comes, and we are all faced with this, what I feel is an unfair decision, where we suddenly have to be wise enough to know what we want to do with our lives and our careers. Did you know what you wanted to do then?
To be honest, I didn't know, like, because people were asking everybody, but what I do know is that I never wanted to work. Yeah, I do know, but I obviously couldn't voice that out because it was like, you're lazy or you have no ambition. Yeah. So I would lie. Every time someone would ask me, it would change.
Yeah. Make up a career along the way.
Yeah. It was tough.
And then what did you eventually do when matric does end?
So the first year I came out of school, I done nothing.
Gap year.
Not because I didn't get accepted. I got accepted at UKZN, but I had to stay on campus because it was too far. It was Zululand.
Okay.
So my mom and me were like, because I was the first child. So my mom and me were like,
You're not going.
No, I'm not going to stay on campus away from my parents. I've never done such a thing before. It's not happening. Then the next year I went to go and study because it was obviously, I got accepted close enough. And I studied like business science, which is more majoring in like the human resources parts of it. But it was, all of it was business science together. So yeah.
And did you like it?
No, but I passed really well. So I was like, hey, let me just continue.
Yeah. And tell me about that first job, because I like your story, because we love sometimes making it seem like people who live their dreams always have to come from poverty. And actually you are saying you don't have to come from poverty. And in fact, let's stop glorifying poverty.
Yeah.
You don't have to come from poverty in order to want to have dreams and to accomplish your dreams. Yeah. So from a perspective of a person who's made many trials along the way, what was that first job? Because some people's first job is car guard, some McDonald's, some your mother was influential, so you got a good job.
Definitely.
What was that first job that Ashley did?
So I'm not actually coming from like a rich family, but I'm not coming from a poor family or a poverty family. I'm just coming from like normal middle class family they can afford. But my first job, so the funny thing is that nobody ever wanted to give me a job, or I wouldn't get callbacks for any of the job that I applied at. So I never worked up until I was 24 and I'm 26 now. And my first job was actually, where was my first job? I actually can't even think of it now. It was in Joburg.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it was in Joburg at Kealeboga for like a month. And then I was like, nah, I don't like this.
I'm not having this.
I actually was like, I'm not having this. I don't like it. It was doing data analytics and stuff to what I studied. And yeah, it just continued. After that, it was just all finance jobs. And I was getting them. Like from 24 years old, like that's when the jobs were coming. Everything I applied for just came. They were just calling me back. Durban, Joburg, Cape Town, anyway. But every 2 months I had a new job because I never liked it. And in the workplace, I'd always be cracking jokes or just talking rubbish. And then it was like, I'm not even doing work anymore. Yeah.
I'm actually intrigued with that journey. And I want us to delve in a bit about it. What does, I'm trying to imagine Ashley in finance. Like, take me to one of your jobs and tell me what your day looked like.
The weird thing is that I was only just good at maths in school.
Okay.
But at some points I was good at nothing because I didn't want to be there. So when I got into every job that I got into, they would do maybe like a trial run and they would see like, okay, she's good with the numbers, she's good at doing taxes or whatever, and then I would do that for them. But it wasn't, I would do the work also quickly because I want to rush and get done, and then the rest of the day I'm just chilling.
Yeah. You're chilling on TikTok on your phone at work.
No, I'm talking nonsense.
Interrupting everybody else.
Yes. It was, yeah.
The decision to then, rather, before we get there, then obviously you're busy at work, but something in your head keeps on saying, I'm a creative. When did you realize that, no, actually, I'm sick of everything. I want to be a creative? Was it triggered by entering Big Brother, or even before that you knew that I'm miserable? I don't like my life the way it is. Yes, I appreciate what I have, what God has blessed me with, but there's a sense of discontentment, unfulfillment that I have with what I'm doing every day when I wake up. When do you think you realized that? Was it still at 24, 25, or now at 26 only?
Like from a small child, actually, like all those times when people would say I was depressed, or like from 5 years old when they said I can't come to school and not talk and interact. At home, I was to my mother and father, and I have a younger sister and 3 younger brothers, but my sister's closest with me in age. I would be the biggest actress. I would present to them. I was always making different accents. I was very outgoing at home. So my parents were like, how do you not do this at school, but you're doing all of this at home, or you don't have any friends? So I always knew, because I grew up watching Kimora Lee Simmons, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. In my head, there was always a camera on me and people were watching me. So I always knew, like from a young age. It's just that I didn't have the opportunity to I didn't care for the opportunity to apply and do these things. Like, it wasn't my forte. My sister done modeling and adverts and stuff, but now she took the role of where the family thought I was going to be, being that working person.
Corporate person, yeah.
And I am the one that they didn't expect to do it, but they always knew had the talent to do it.
Sure.
So it was just like when Big Brother came, the adverts I saw it on DSTV, and my mom was like, apply. And I was like, you know what, I'll see if I have time. And then one night I was bored, and then I applied, and they called me. And that was the first time I ever applied for something like social, like that. I didn't care about TikTok, Instagram, nothing. Yeah, it just happened.
Do you think when your mother said applied, and you did apply, I'm going to push you a bit. Did you not have that insecurity of, no colored person ever wins Big Brother, or no colored person ever makes it in this industry? It seems to only favor black people. Seems like in the entertainment industry is all about blackness.
Well, I look at one of the winners were Keegan, one season.
That is old, right?
Big Brother Africa,
yeah.
And then last year and the year before, Tyler was having a lot of controversy with the coloredness. So for me, it was like, I don't actually believe, if you, just example, or someone comes and tells me I'm not going to be able to do this job, I'm not going to get it, it really doesn't matter to me. I don't think people understand that. I don't care what they say, because if God says that I'm going to be famous and I am going to be on TV, then I'm going to be it. Why? I don't really care what you say. So I knew, okay, maybe I even told my mother, I'm going to make it here. I'm going to go to Big Brother. The first email I got says, I'm going to go to Big Brother. I don't know if I'm going to win. Hopefully that I'll win the money. But even if I don't win, I know that I'm going to be bigger than the winner. I told her even before it happened.
Yeah. When you were inside, because it's such a concealed environment, now when you were inside the Big Brother house, did you feel like, I'm a star outside? I'm doing something right?
Not at all.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, even if I don't make it on Big Brother, I'm still going to be bigger than Big Brother's winner on whatever I go outside and do. But from Big Brother, nah, I didn't. I felt like, okay, they didn't like me outside.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't stand you.
They couldn't stand me. But also at the same time, my dad, he's like a big Ice Cube fan, and he was always watching these Black American movies, and he likes NWA. So their one slogan is, all publicity is good publicity, even bad. So I was like, hey, even if they don't like me here for a reason that might not be the same reason that I wouldn't unlike someone, it's like I'm still getting publicity.
Yeah.
But not for the wrong things, though. Don't misconceive that and say that I was sticking and I'm getting publicity from that. Nah.
You said previously that the show has helped you learn a lot about yourself, because I think because it's a concealed environment, it also highlights both our good parts of our personality and the bad parts of our personality. Would you say one of the biggest learning moments for you was that the bad parts of your personality, you actually need to work on them now?
No, I wouldn't say so. I would say that some things I just articulated wrong. I never ever had ill intentions to hurt anybody. But obviously, sometimes things get made to look like they're not, and you have to take responsibility for that because you've hurt a lot of people's feelings.
Sure.
And that's what I did. But I never ever intended to make anybody hurt.
I get that, because sometimes I'm like, when people say, I won't fold, I say what I said.
Yeah.
It's a problematic way of approaching life, because in life you must always be willing to apologize.
Yes.
Because sometimes you say something, but articulation wasn't correct.
Yes.
You didn't mean that thing, but the articulation was wrong, be it because of grammar, because we're not all strong in certain languages or in certain dialect, be it because the situation was heated.
Yes.
And when situations are heated, we are emotional. We are human. We are emotional beings. And to take a step back and say, I am sorry, is acknowledgement that I am human like you.
Yes.
And you must give me grace as well. And part of me feels like the other people in the house felt like Ashley did not deserve that grace.
Oh, my brother. I can see he's from KZN. Okay, yeah. I guess they didn't feel like that, but that's because they didn't understand me. And something I don't advocate for is try to make people understand me. But because somebody was feeling so hurt, I definitely did try that in Big Brother. I tried to make people understand me. I tried to be friends. I still try, like even outside with different people. And I'm always willing to try because, like you said, people deserve second chances.
Absolutely. And third and fourth and fifth.
Up to 100. Like you have to be willing to go over and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. The day you were painfully eliminated, did you expect it? Because especially when you found out that it's housemates voting to kick somebody out, did you actually whisper to who and say, I know these people don't want me, they're going to try and kick me out? Or you were like so chilled, nah, it's not going to happen to me?
I was always prepared to leave the show because I knew nobody liked me. So I was like, Aish, now I'm out. And plus two, when I got into the arena, I'd already seen cardboards in my box. So I was like, Aish, it's my day to leave today. Yeah, I expected it.
It's interesting you say that. And in the moment, how did you feel?
In the moment of being eliminated.
Yeah, like when your name is announced that, well, was it Swizz? Swizz who announced?
I saw it coming. But yeah, I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the moment when Swizz announced your name that you've been eliminated, what was your immediate feeling? Because obviously we saw on camera that you went to your loved one and you hugged him and showed him and embraced him, but you didn't embrace anybody else.
Yeah.
You were like, middle finger, bye everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there was a bit of anger there. Or am I wrong?
Like I said, I don't want to make this about anybody else, but I saw it coming. I saw a lot of things in that house coming. I don't know. I guess it's just the discernment that I have a lot of the time. I saw it coming even before I knew there were eliminations. I was like, I don't know, but I feel like, I'm about to go home randomly, not by eviction. But in that moment, because I expected it, I wasn't angry. I didn't feel it. The only thing that made me sad was that I was going to leave the person that I spent like 4 weeks with.
Sure.
And other than being my loved one or whatever, felt like he was also my homie.
Yeah.
So it is ish, now I don't have friends
That's
outside.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing that hurt me. But other than that, I was like, yeah, no, I played a good game. I played it to the best of my ability. If it's time for me to leave, then yeah.
You come from grandparents who were married, both paternal, maternal. You come from parents who were loving to the extent that they even moved cities to make sure that Ashley is fine, that she finds a good school and she's settled. So you understood love and the value of family. What does companionship mean to you and falling in love with the right person?
So I've only been in love one time before Big Brother's house. I've only had one boyfriend. I never even had like, what do you call them? Like random
Talking stages.
kisses or talking stages. Yeah, because it's like for me, if I don't feel you, I didn't. It's not gonna happen. And I believe that connection, when it comes, man. Okay, I wouldn't say it's love at first sight, but like looking at this person,
Connection at first sight,
yeah,
maybe.
something deep is gonna happen. Yeah, so I really value it. So I know a lot of people are like, Ashley runs after SG or whatever. It's not really like that, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I guess it's just when I really like someone or I really love someone and I have a connection towards them, I'm always gonna want to be with them. But you also know when I don't love you anymore. I don't do that with everybody. It's just like once in a while. Yeah. So
I think that perspective or that opinion that Ashley is running after Sweet Guluva can come from a place of hurt from people who are saying it, because I'm 31 years old and I've been in love, and trust me, when you love the person, you want to be around them all day long, every day, especially when the connection is genuine and you don't feel like you had to fight for that connection. The only difference is that yours was on TV. Yeah, and they were seeing it.
I also feel like it was a mutual thing. But yeah, each to their own. Like, it was a mutual. We'd both want to be by each other a lot of the time. Yeah, but I don't feel guilty about it. I don't feel bad about it, because I didn't really see him as a bad person or doing anything wrong. So obviously I'd want to be where he's at, and other people didn't really like me. So
yeah. What does love mean to you?
Love. I believe love is God, because God is love, right? Love is when a man and a woman, they come together and their bonds make someone else. So love is me, love is you, love is a person. And when love finds love, then it's even greater love. So you just know, because you can feel it. Yeah. And you can see it.
Have you found your love?
Have I found my... Yeah, I would say so.
Ne?
Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful. You went in there looking for your purpose, for your career purpose, to find the superstardom that you said God has told you you'd always have.
Yeah.
As a person who grew up watching Kimora Lee Simmons, as a person who grew up watching Kim Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, and God said, there's even more I have for you, my daughter. There's even more I have for you in there. I'm sure there's a lot of gratitude in your heart.
There is. So when you say that I found my love, there is a lot of gratitude in my heart. And for me, when I find I don't think I ever broke up with... Well, I've only had one boyfriend, but I've never broken up. I don't think I ever will break up with someone, because I'm not going to be with you or show people how I feel about you if I feel like I'm going to leave. I'm the type that maybe it's a colored thing. I'm going to be there till good, through the bad even.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I need to understand, like just like how I fight for 5 minutes and I want to be your friend after 5 minutes again, and other people fight and then they can't be your friend after a while again. They're not like me. So if my partner also one day decides that he doesn't want to be a part of me anymore, it will hurt. So that's what what I'm trying to say is that I feel like I found that. But things can also, since we're on a social platform now, things can also go south, can go the other way that it is. And yeah, I don't want you to say like, Ashley was faking, doing all of these weird things. People are allowed to feel the way they feel.
Sure.
But I'm not going to be apologetic about the way that I feel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, I know, and I've been observing how since the competition has ended, you guys have opted to actually take your relationship offline and experience it in the real sense, especially because you've had 6 weeks apart where you didn't actually have time to build the relationship in an organic, real manner. Yes, you spent 4 weeks together on a daily basis, but now there are real life elements that you must deal with together. Has that been intentional to go offline and live life like lovers? And could you say it's also because there's just so much noise?
No, I actually don't feel like... So we started our relationship on a social platform and people have been very supportive. Not everybody, but a lot of people have been very supportive. They loved it. And so I felt like it was obligated to tell people, okay, we're going to be private and stuff. But even if not for the privacy, I still wouldn't have minded it being out there. The only thing is that like right now we just Big Brother just is over, and we are individuals. So like, focus on his brand, and I focus on mine, and then maybe like later on we can make it public again.
Sure,
But for
sure,
now,
sure.
it's like it has to be private.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to build mine, and he builds his. Yeah.
Absolutely. It makes sense because, as you're saying, God forbid it ends. We can't not have an Ashley who has her own identity.
Yeah,
Because God brought
definitely.
Ashley into this world,
Yes.
not Ashley and not
Yes.
Ashley joined to the hip of.
Yes.
At least you're not married yet, so he's not at your hip. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
It makes a lot of sense. Do you feel overwhelmed by the amount of support you have even outside of the relationship? I know it feels good to be loved at the level that you are loved at because it's affirmation for everything that God had told you about your career. But do you sometimes go to bed and be like, oh, it is too much?
I don't do that, because I know a lot of people be like, Ashley's nonchalant or whatever. But I feel like I went through a lot of bad in my life, a lot of bad. So, and I could deal with it. So nothing is ever too hard or nothing is ever too bad right now at this point in my life, because I've never received love. So the love that I'm getting, it's like, bring it on, guys. More.
Yeah. But actually, your life, for the lack of a better word, is changing overnight.
Yes.
And you have to adapt your emotions and your mental health to this overnight change. I know I'd be struggling, but perhaps that's just me and my personality. Is there no ounce of struggling for you in that, the overnight change?
I'd be lying if I said there was. I'd be lying if I said there was. I feel like everything that's coming to me, it's God giving it to me, and God wouldn't give it to me if I couldn't
handle it.
Yeah. So if they had said, for example, okay, you've got a shoot today and you've got a podcast and you've got this, and I just don't see the time making it, and I'm like, okay, this might ruin my brand or whatever. Now, I'm not that type of person. I'm probably just like, one of those things had to be left out. They're going to have to understand. And if they don't understand, I'm going to have to apologize. And it just is what it is. Yeah. So no, I don't have an ounce of like, I can't sleep or any of that. I just go with the motions and I pray to God because,
Yeah. Are you finding that there are a lot of chance takers now trying to get into your life in the past 6 weeks, especially ever since you've left the show? Because Ashley seems like a person who had a wall.
Yeah.
People don't come in easily into your life.
Yeah.
Are they now trying to knock harder on the door?
I wouldn't say they're trying to knock harder. I would just say like, okay, we all want to. I would say I would do the same thing that they're doing.
Okay.
If I was them. So I don't view it like that. I just see if it aligns with my brand, and if it doesn't, then I won't get back. I'll get back to you and tell you that it doesn't. But if it does, I will. But I don't see them as chance takers, because if I was in their position and I felt like, okay, this person is gonna work for my business, so it's gonna uplift me, I would definitely take my chance and do it. I try not to judge people at first sight. I don't know, it looks like I'm a very judgmental person, but I try not to, so that keeps my peace of mind together.
Yeah. That's fair, because you're saying that just because I've been blessed with an opportunity, it doesn't mean I must lock others out of opportunities.
Yeah.
So I can help them with what I can. Obviously, I'm not going to give them all of me.
Yes.
But the little that I have, I can help them.
Yes. I feel like I've been blessed in so many ways lately, hey? And I'm not used of that. Like, also, it feels uncomfortable. It's like, wow, why are you giving me this?
That
it's
is
like,
cute.
so much. I low-key want to say, please, I'm begging you to stop. But so in God blessing me like that, I must also bless others, right?
Be a vessel.
Yeah. So I feel like, for me, I'm the type of person that I could probably maybe not sleep until 12 o'clock trying to help you because I've been helped so much.
Yeah.
So, I don't really mind in that sense.
That is crazy, because, most people, I wouldn't say you were bullied, but maybe you were shunned upon by other people and they ignored you and pushed you to the side. So most people, when they get their breakthrough, they'll be like, screw you guys. You guys weren't there for me, so I won't be there for you. Where do you get this rootedness? I know what your answer is going to be, but I want to hear it from you. Where do you get this rootedness to still maintain that kindness to people who probably don't deserve it?
My dad doesn't talk a lot, and he always tells me, my mom, she talks a lot, but she also tells me the same thing. But I mostly hear my dad's voice telling me, like, we're all going to die one day, right? And it doesn't matter what you went through on your few days here on earth, because we all only have a few days here on earth, because what happens is after you die, where you're going to go to. So if maybe I was looked down here on earth for a few days that I lived my life, and then now when I'm knocking on heaven's door, Peter's not going to open for me because you bullied me and I wanted to get you back. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Keep that here on earth. I want to go there
yeah.
to heaven, so it's fine. Yeah, so I don't have any grudges or hate towards people. Obviously, I'm now not best friends, but yeah, keep the hate. It's fine.
Speaking of the hate, would you say there are people who riled you up so much in the Big Brother house that you hate them?
Not at all. I don't hate anybody. In actual fact, like, I wouldn't say that I like everybody, but if they were willing to maybe want to have a friendship with me or something that can build a like towards them or love towards them, I'd be open to do that. Because, like, you got to understand where people were coming from in the game. Maybe they had a strategy that they came into the thing with, or maybe they coming from different things happening in their lives.
Sure.
So I once heard this here. It was actually during last week. It was from an amazing lady. She said to me, she doesn't hug everybody because their energy, she doesn't want that energy to be transferred onto her, whatever they're carrying, because it could be a negative energy. And I understood her. But however, from my side, I was like, I want to be able to hug everybody because I want to have a positive energy that maybe can transfer back onto you.
Yeah.
So we don't know what those people are coming from in their households, because I know I would go to school sometimes, with medicated because I don't want to be there. And so I don't know what they're coming from. And if I can make it better for them, then why not?
How can parents treat children who struggled with what you struggle with, mental health problems, who are in school right now? What advice would you give to a parent who's going through that and they're like, this child doesn't want to go to school?
Yeah.
Because chances are that's what they think. This child doesn't want to go to school. This child is problematic. This child is rebellious. How can they handle the situation better?
To be honest, that question, I hear it a lot. I don't honestly think that there's a way that you can make your child's life better for children that are going through that. My mom used to fight with me, not because I was being rebellious, but she was like, you can't be like this, man. You can't not always want to go to school. I don't understand what I'm giving you everything. And I also, even me, I had no answer.
Yeah.
It's like, what is doing this for you? The only thing from my side that I can say really helped me is, which I've always had. I had an uncle that was a criminal and he showed me God from like a young age. The only thing that I can say helped me was praying to God and being content with, this is my life and it will happen for me at the time that it will happen. So I can only say pray for your children, because tablets won't help, buying them clothes won't help, buying them toys, it's not going to help. Just pray for them and be more understanding.
That is so interesting. Actually, why do you believe in God so much? Young people, it's no longer fashionable to have a relationship with God. But at the center of who you are, without a doubt, you keep on referencing God. You keep on referencing your faith. And as a person who had mental health problems, I would even think you'd be like, screw God, because he didn't help me through my situation.
That was never it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why do you think God is your everything like he is?
It's because I don't do it anymore. I feel so bad. I used to read the Bible a lot. I don't do it anymore because I feel like I read it so much. And I reference things back to that. The people that were great in the Bible, right, like Job and everybody, I don't recall them having an easy go at anything. Yeah, I don't recall any one of them. And I also say that I'm referencing God a lot now. And maybe you see me on Instagram with a crop top and a skirt, but I've got Jesus in my bio. So I don't think Jesus sets out Jezebel. He called Peter and James and those ones that were a mess. So if I'm a mess, I had depression, I had anxiety, I was a mess. If I was perfect, I wouldn't need Jesus. But so it's because I was such a mess that I needed Jesus.
Come on.
And I waited for him to help me. Like I said, I was fighting with the coats of God until he helps me.
Yeah.
And I can say now that he has a lot more in store for me, but he's really helped me. Like, it's past tense. The word is no more, I'm waiting for God to help me. God has really helped me.
Which prayer do you gravitate to mostly? You find yourself praying. What are you saying to God when you pray that prayer?
I pray any random thing because I feel like for me, I don't pray and talk to God like, okay, I'm having a prayer from the Bible. I'm going to say Hail Mary now. I talk to him like he's my friend, because at the end of the day, it's about the relationship I have with God. I don't even go to church. I talk to him about the relationship. Like, I'll talk to him like he's my friend, build a relationship, because one day when I go to heaven and I'm knocking on the door of God, I don't want him to say, who's this knocking? How do you know me? I want it to be like a friend. Because would you open the door for a stranger at your house? You wouldn't. But if it's your friend and they need a place to stay, you're gonna
because you
let
have a
them in.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. Your relationship also seemingly has quickly involved families without you choosing for it to, because obviously it was displayed on television. Were you nervous about meeting your future in-laws for the first time? Because seemingly now you have. Was it a nerve-wracking moment? How was that day? How did you feel?
It wasn't nervous. I am like a shy. I look like a shy person.
Yeah.
I kind of am. Let me admit it. So I know that Guluva didn't want me to. Their culture don't believe that you should go without them.
Paying lobola, yeah.
No, like he should introduce me to them.
Okay.
Not about the lobola. So I didn't want to disrespect him and just go and talk. So I was waiting for him to do that. But unfortunately, it was the platform we were on, and I was like walking past, like, let me just say hi. And yeah.
So where did you meet his mom?
It was the finale party.
Oh, on the finale party.
Sunday.
Oh, in your nice black dress.
Yeah. Not very nice to meet someone in, but there's a crumb
with a bit of skin.
Yeah, it was awkward.
You're like, ish, I should be wearing this long dress with the dugu.
Something covering.
Yes.
She was sad.
And how did she receive you in that moment? Did you feel embraced? Did you feel like, oh, this is an amazing person?
It was a very quick conversation, and she was very sweet. She was very amazing. Yeah, she's also just beautiful. So it's like
beautiful.
It makes it hard to like focus on anything she was even saying. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I guess it runs in the family.
His family?
Yes.
Well, I see him. I've seen him, and I've seen his mother now. So
yes.
Yeah, I can see it in the blood, and I haven't seen anyone else.
You can see it. I know. There's a string there. I chose well. So the future kids, I'm not worried.
No. Not at all.
We're nearing the end of our conversation, but before we get there, any regrets?
About the show or life?
Anything.
I know. No regrets. No regrets.
Nothing, actually?
Nothing. Because even the bad things I've learned from.
Yeah.
And I think, actually, I'll say the bad things that I faced inside there has made people on the outside put a lot of comments about being more forgiving and stuff. And so I was like, okay, so this thing that I done that was bad, it turned out good in the end. So no regrets, but obviously I've learned from my mistakes, and I wouldn't do the same things that I've done. Yeah.
What's that one thing in life you know for sure that you're absolutely certain of and absolutely believe in?
If I say it again, it's going to sound monotonous.
No,
God.
It's your truth.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely certain about it. Absolutely believe in it. Because I know even like when things go bad, there's a greater purpose in that. And that's him. So yeah, I can't, like, there's no way that I can tell you anything in my life comes without God giving it to me. So everything that I say, it's going to be about God. Even the crop top, and people talk about my waistline. I'm like, hey, that's God. So I'm going to wear the crop top. I'm going to show the waistline.
Yeah. I don't usually do this, but you're one of our special guests. Can I get my bag? Yes, please. So we've got a gift for you. We have an apparel line as EYL Africa.
Okay.
So, thanks, TJ. This is for you. There might be more than one, so for you and you know who.
Beautiful.
If you want to share. So please enjoy this. Thank you so much for coming onto our sorry, the mic. Thank you so much for coming to our platform. We appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you've done. And what you're going to do. It's also a gesture to say all the best in your journey. We're a platform about growth. We believe in transformative conversations and changing people's lives. We are God-centered. All our conversations, we always go back to the center of who we are. And God is the center of what drives me and my authenticity. And I thank you so much that you're here to share that same energy. So this is for you.
You know, I'm a lover of things, eh? Like,
Okay,
thank you so much. I think this was like, I'm so sorry to say it. This was the best podcast I've ever been on.
I told you. I told you.
I don't expect it. Thank you so much.
The show is Engineer Your Life, and I'm Lungelo KM. Ashley Ogles, the star, a superstar. I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Kholwa emandleni onawo.
Oh my, we're finally doing this. What does EYL Africa represent? It's about standing in your power. It's about, in isiZulu, it's Kholwa emandleni onawo, which is our tagline. You will see it on the back of my t-shirts. It's about believing in the power that you have, believing in the power that your God, your guides have invested in you. Shop our socks, shop our t-shirt, and yeah, just keep believing in yourself. EYL Africa.
Now available on EYLshop.Africa.